What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you the last war recap from OneHive versus ByeForever. Over the weekend was an arranged war, and holy cow, what a great war! It was just such a close war, all the way down to the end, and the bases on from ByeForever, holy cow, really good defense. I mean, it really made speaking from a nine and then observing all the attacks. And having a town hall 10 in a clan that I founded, I was just those bases. They did work. Like it was not nothing was easy. So great job. By the way, they have a podcast, the ByeForever Show. If you haven't seen it or listened to it, I encourage you, please go check it out. Got a lot of guests and some cool things out there. I enjoy listening to it as well. So let's get down to it. Let's show what they did on our side versus their side. Alright, so war stats, this is what I'm looking for. So 31 to 27 3-stars. Some town hall 10, all the 9s were cleared. Some town hall 10s we'll go through and show you what those were. Even some town hall, I don't think there was any town. Tell you what things are at. On the left hand side, the breakdown for this looks like there wasn't any. Were some town hall 10s left. So the breakdown for this was 4 town hall 11s, 14 town hall 10s, and 1 9.5, and the rest 9s. They ByeForever doubled all the town hall 11s and did so with some pretty high percentage. If you look at the percentage of this, it was 0.22. That kind of put things in perspective. So had to win it outright by stars. Some pretty good percentages up top. Doubled all the 11s. Left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 town hall 10s on the board. Ooh, and left the 9. I didn't see that. And they left. All right, so they left 8 town hall 10s and 1 9. Let's go ahead and get rid of this because there's something that's needs to be taken care of right now. And I apologize if you guys hear my little 9-month-old running around. It's early and she's screaming the daddy song. On the right hand side for OneHive, we got 2 town hall. All the town hall 11s were doubled. Got really close, I think. Yeah, no, my bad. Sorry. So all the town hall 11s were doubled. We left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 town hall 10s on the board, and the rest of the 9s were cleared. Alright, let's get right into it. I'm going to start from the bottom up, going with Boss. Oh crap, I'm so sorry. Apparently it is way too early for me still. Let's go down to Boss on 35. Who, by the way, had a run. Straight up 2 fresh hit 6-packs. So it's BossDiaz. It's going to come into this, and I select this one because he's going to do a Zap Quake Bolalo. So his kill squad is going to account for 3 air defenses. With these 3 clustered up like that, his kill squad is going to account for that, and he's going to Zap Quake the 4th one. And his queen, he's going to manhandle that and get it as part of his kill squad push, which I thought was pretty impressive. He's got 1 jump, so he wall breakers in, jump right here. Queen usually won't hop that wall. CC comes out, poison goes down. Alright, things are looking nice. He's got really late bowlers that could aggro onto this laboratory, so he smartly sends down a wizard for that to ensure that the bowlers stay inward. They take care of a sweeper, 2 air defenses, a ton of the Tesla farm, and then move over to the left and get the remaining air defense. So now he has 1 hound and shit ton of loons, 16 loons to Lalo the base, and the queen gets got aggroed onto from the enemy queen. She didn't hop the wall, but because his queen can, has vision of 7 tiles and in distance of 5, she could easily engage the enemy queen, which she did and took care of it. So this was what I liked about it. Not only did he just gut the air defenses, and has a hound and 16 Lalos to wreck the base, but he uses his hound smartly. That's what I like about it, because there was 2 attacks on my base that took out 4 of my ADs as part of their kill squad push, but didn't clear the base. And no disrespect to those that tried on my base, but the point that I'm making is, when you're used to having a air defense as part of your Lalo, you expect hounds to bust, so you have cleanup troops, so you're not chasing the clock. That's why. And just the pathing of certain things, it's usually not a familiar territory that you can gut the entire air defense before you start your Lalo. But Boss did a great job with this, you know. I'm going to fast forward through it because it's nothing more than cleanup. Great job, Boss. Let's move on to the next one. Got a few to show you. There was a lot of great wars here. Raids here, rather. I'm going up to 31 with Josh. Josh is going to do a Queen. By the way, Boss was a fresh hit because he had a beer run. Josh is also a fresh hit. And I selected Josh here because he's going to do a Queen walk. So this is post-update, post-healer nerf. And I said in a different video that I may... timing is all weird for me right now. I may or may not have posted yet. But the walk is not as dead as everyone thought it is. It just became, you know, people are a little bit more cautious and don't use it so, excuse me, don't use it so freely because you have to plan the pathing. Your pathing has to be spot on. And if you are doing an open walk, which is what Josh is doing here, you're more likely to keep all your healers at the end because base building hasn't caught up to people making the decision to put Sams on the black Sams on the outside. I don't think it will, my humble opinion, though I'm not the greatest base builder in the world. The reason why is when you put black Sams on the outside, you would kind of have to need to put at least 2 of your 4 as a Town Hall 9 because most people bring four healers on a walk, and you can usually muster through it with 3, but 4 is the preferred. And that's the only reason why I say that. I think it's better to protect against a Lalo and keeping your Sams on the inside, but we'll see where the base goes. It's been a while since we've had him trigger traps. So his Queen pretty much takes care of this entire right side. Meanwhile, he's got his Golem open up the wall here with his BK and CC bowlers to take care of the bottom right hand side. And so now his main attacking force, or his second phase of his attack, is his Hogs, who have pretty much a good straight shot here like this to come downward. He does have a heal for them, and he's patient with it. As his Queen comes under fire, he uses the Rage rather than on the Super Queen. He uses it on his bowlers that quickly take care of the BK on the bottom, and they last. I know it looks like they went walking on him, but he didn't give up. He stuck to the plan. Obviously, he was going to use Rage to erase the middle of the core of the bowlers, which, even though the bowlers walk, they're almost tanking for the Hogs coming in, but he didn't give up on the plan is what I mean. And look at these Larrys, man. They're always trying to pet the Hogs at the petting zoo. I always watch this like, come on, turn around and get them Larrys. But they end up taking out the last defense, turn around and have just enough to one-shot the Larrys. And they're right around the high hit point storage. And because this is all open, the Queen had quick access to everything in the core right there, at least on the left-hand side. So it was a really nice example of showing that Queen walks, especially open walks, is not as dead as everyone said they were going to be, but it just required more skill and planning. So great job, Josh. Let's get out of this one, and let's go up to Dingus, 28. Dingus was a monster yet again, and no, this was not a mass baby dragon attack, but he's got his Avalanche, 5 golems and 4 jumps. And this is an attack I have not tried yet. I've seen it done many times. I get the concept of it, but I guess I lack the boss. I lack the money and the power and the boss to actually try it yet. I think this will be the next thing I'll try to become an expert at this week in the FC, because I really like the mass baby. But look at this. Got defenses around the outside. This one hangs over to the right. Obviously he wanted him to jump in towards that motor, but the golems don't go exactly where he wants them to, as the first time coming through, as he's got a group on the bottom left of the wizards that are working on this P.E.K.K.A. And the BK is also beating on it. He almost loses the group here, loses one of the golems. They're on their own now, but the queen finishes off the job. Meanwhile, the other golems reroute and go in where he originally planned the pathing. Now he's got, because the defenses on the right are all distracted to the golems on the right, and the defenses on the left were all distracted to the ones at the top and the right. He was able to sneak his queen on in here to snipe a lot of defenses, but it's just an insane attack. It really is. Really like this thing. He's got one unbroken golem yet. You know, the BK is no heal or anything like that, but the BK is just basically following the tank. Same thing with the queen. She no ability, sliver of health on both royals. There was not much left that they could have done, but there was so much takeage in front of him. The way he just kept the hounds, he had to adjust on the fly. He kept them in front of them the entire time. Meanwhile, he's got just a handful of wizards, of the small amount of wizards that he had to begin with, and especially left over here, to pull it done. I mean, I really like that. That was excellent. So there's your Avalanche. Great job, Dingus. As we fast forward for him to get the last little trash building on the bottom here, he always has some creative strategies, man, and he executes them quite well. I always like his stuff. So getting out of Dingus, let's go up, continue towards Kwei. 21. A little bit of a hybrid of what we just saw. Not 4 jumps, but 3. And he sprinkled in some hogs and some loons. But look, he's got 12 wall breakers. Wow. So he's going to go ahead and stop down his golem down here with the wizard just inside that blind spot with 1-2 shots, and it's done. So it really doesn't impact anything. He opens up the wall here at the same time while those things are distracted. So he's got his queen behind one of his 4 golems. Meanwhile, he's going to start in on the other golems up top. Is it CC bowlers? I think he's got CC bowlers. But he opens up the wall and he brings all these wall breakers, these 12. If you're wondering, like, why is he bringing all those? Is to basically allow the queen to access to come in and go out as needed. And he brought more than enough in case for wall breaker fails. And I thought that was clever, you know. On open walks like this where you got your queen behind the golems, I think it's smart to bring some wall breakers like that to give her an in and out just in case to adjust on the fly. But he also has those jumps as the main way to get in. So he's got a jump for this juncture here. Wasn't quite shallow enough. They got the queen to jump outside, but he's got wall breakers for the other side in here, and then to let in his final golem with just a few wizards behind that. With all that time that they bring. Meanwhile, he's still got finally the CC trigger pulls. But meanwhile, he's still got an unbroken golem from the initial kill squad push. I mean, and then the last jump here. Could have been just one tile too short. If you see that, it's not really hitting that peg, but it might take it. But look at all this time here in the core. Wow. Still got an AQ ability, bowlers that and some hogs. I mean, that was just a thing of beauty. Look at this. The other thing that's excellent about this is that the way that he did his pathing, and I highly encourage this because it's something I also look for as well. Where does your kill squad end? Where does your, not kill squad, but your initial attacking army, where do they end? If you have a ton of loons or a ton of hogs like that, you want them to end on the BK or sometimes on high hit point storages like this. And the why behind that is very obvious, so that you're not chasing the clock. If they end so far away from the high hit points that take time, it's just less time you have to deal with in order to get to those high hit points. So great job, Kwei. Really enjoyed that raid. And then to end this off, we're going to show a Town Hall 10 cleanup. And by the way, Kwei's was a cleanup as well. So Josh, Boss, and Dingus were all fresh hits. But Kwei was a cleanup. And then to end this out with Fabian on 16 is a cleanup as well. There was some really good Town Hall 10 attacks. I'm going to bring them in a separate video. I'm going to do what Jake used to did, the death of a Town Hall 10, because there was one that took 4 attempts to get down, and I thought it was I really liked those series, and so I'm gonna follow suit, and maybe we can encourage Jake to come back and start doing videos again, because I miss him. Starts in with the golem in a baby dragon on the left here, just to start the funnel. Baby Dragon on the right to start the other funnel. Did its job, and he's got a boner attack. I said the other day I couldn't believe that I was so, towards the end of the war, I couldn't believe how excited I was to see another man's boner. Oh, that just feels wrong coming out my mouth. That's what she said. Anyway, so they go in here, the golem and the bowlers. Their job is to get the Infernal Tower, the CC, and the AQ, which they'll get. Meanwhile, he doesn't wait. He sends in his miners from the right-hand side really early. And I believe it was North Watchers. North Watchers, there was a guy that did this. As they're going to come up in here with Rage and Heal to get the second Infernal. And really smart to put the storage like that to stall them out, and that's what they're there for. But he would send his miners way early in a boner attack. It was, and we noticed that it was very. At least there was comments made, and I saw it as well. That there were, it was really fluid. It was really, there was some synergy with that, and it really worked out like overpowering. So that would, that's what the timing of his troops on this is what that reminded me of. Who knows how many miners he has up in the middle, but he's got no more spells, and he's gonna have to have a split on them. But the point defenses, he's gonna have a scary section on the left with the 4-point defenses at once, because that archer tower at 9 o'clock can reach over to that compartment with the 2 cannons in the archer tower. But I don't know. Idea how many miners he has left. It looks like he has 5 on the left here, which are going to soften up that section, while he has like I think 5 more, maybe 6. I don't know. I feel like we should start a raffle whenever we start look at boner attacks, and just guess how many miners are actually in the ground, and whoever wins like gets a $5 gift card or something. I don't know. But miners come up and finish the last part of this section here. You know, since the buff, the hype is real on the because it's supposed to be a debuff, but it's a buff. The hype is real. Yeah, you got to chase time. Okay, they're slower, but that doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, they move slower, so they stay healthier when they pop up. Supercell really got that wrong. Lots of boner attacks, lots of 3 stars from boner attacks. Anyway, great job, Fabian. Great plan. Really enjoyed that. That'll do it for this war recap. Again, shout out, congrats to ByeForever for a hard-fought war. It was really hard-fought. Really good bases on that side. So that'll be it. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you got to be better than a double, and I'll check you next time.